Yeah, so I work with a Swiss guy named Patrick Tour. I've worked with him for almost exactly 2 years to the day. So I started working with him 2019 Tampa Pro. It's been great. I mean, obviously when you start with any coach, it's a learning process. I mean, especially when you're talking big bodybuilders, there's so many factors and things that can change on a daily basis. So there's always like a learning curve, but I think with him, we were able to kind of master that curve very, very quickly and improve at a very quick rate. So, I think the biggest thing we've noticed and biggest thing we've improved on is just controlling, all the factors like right down to a T. So someone like me, if I don't keep an eye on things in terms of my training output, my weight can kind of like get snowballing and I can lose a lot of fullness, lose a lot of muscularity and strength really, really quickly. So that's just been something that we keep a really close eye on, in terms of how my training output is, where my body is in correlation to that, and then controlling all those variables kind of all together, right? So how much food I'm eating compared to how much training volume I'm doing, what the look looks like in correlation with that, and then controlling and pairing all those factors together. So just keeping a little closer eye on all those things has made a world of difference for me, in my ability to maintain and hold tissue going to shows especially. Obviously, I don't have, improving from Tampa, Texas, going to the Olympia and the Arnold. I mean, you don't have a year or 2 years, or, you're not going to put on 15 pounds of muscle. So the thing here is, do what you can with the time you have and try and maximize that, right? So, things like posing changes, that's going to be one thing, especially for me, is something I get critiqued on, relatively often. So making sure that, those poses that I know need a little more work are really fine tuned. Especially when you're competing against the best guys in the world. I mean, you need to make sure you're displaying your physique to the absolute utmost. I displayed really good conditioning in Tampa and Texas. So, we obviously want to bring as good condition as possible. So, replicate what we had in Texas or even try and be a little bit sharper than that is always the goal. But then bring a little more fullness to that package. So I think we kind of hit it on both ends. When we did Tampa, we were a little heavier and had a really good fullness and the conditioning was good. And then when we came to Texas, we were sharp as a tack. We could have been maybe a little fuller. So trying to bring the marriage between those two, taking that, adding better posing. And then obviously with the time we have, we still are training. So, if we can continue to improve the parts that are, quote unquote, weaker points for me, like my chest and my back width and things like that, are obviously always going to remain, ongoing goals that we're going to continue to pursue. But the things that I think we can control and improve the most are going to be the ones I say before. Especially in this prep, the supplements that have been the most pertinent for me, from the raw line has definitely been the burn for me, like getting up every day and getting that energy up, getting motivated and excited to do the cardio, and I definitely notice in terms of, the impact it has on my fat burning and my ability to sweat and get my heart rate up during that cardio has been a huge, huge difference. So that's one I've, I hate to use the word addicted, but really, has been like a super, super cement one in my prep. So, and anyone that's followed me on Instagram knows that how big I am on the whey protein in the cookies and cream. That's like crack for me. So, I could go through a jug of that a day if I had it my way, so it's, that's one that's really important to me. And I utilize in more than just a shake capacity, like I'll make protein ice cream with that kind of stuff or make protein pancakes. I mean, there's a lot you can do with that. So, those would be the three biggest ones, when you go over to the Revive line. When you're talking about professional bodybuilding or any, professional endeavor and the stresses you put your body through, obviously keeping your health optimized is huge, right? Especially in professional bodybuilding, we're talking about guys that are 300 pounds, 250 plus pounds on stage. There's a lot of tolls that can take on your body. So, for me, especially making sure that my, big main organs, the heart, liver, kidneys, all these things are covered. So the heart is one I take every single day as well as the blood pressure, and then from the liver as well, obviously, this is something that's filtering out all those toxins. You want to make sure everything's running, 100% optimized. So, keeping that in is one that I honestly, if anything, I increase the amount I use on that during prep just to make sure everything's functioning really well. And same with the kidney, right? So, and then, obviously from things like I was talking about before, with controlling my mind and controlling the stress and things like this, a product that, two that I use religiously is the Calm and then the ashwagandha. The Calm, especially that last week leading into prep and before a show, when anxiety and stress are high, I mean, I can go using, 8, 10, 12 caps of that a day. And I find it makes a massive difference on how well, my stress and my cortisol keeps down. I find I peak a lot better for the shows with keeping all those kind of things down. So, pairing that with, 1 or 2 caps of the ashwagandha a day has made a huge difference for me. Yeah, I think the biggest thing I would say to young guys, and I say it all the time when they message me on, Instagram or social media or anything, is, just don't get discouraged, one, looking at other people online and saying, oh, this guy's the same age as me, he's ahead of me, or blah, 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 and just stay your course, right? I think, it's so easy to get caught up in, how other people look and what this guy's doing and this and that. And, I think you need to just stay in your own lane and keep your mind, on, like I said before, what you can control. And what can you control is being consistent, right? Consistent every single day, getting your meals in every day, training as hard as you can every day. I see that a lot with the young guys. It's be like 2 or 3 months that they kill it. And then they're like, oh, I didn't gain 15 pounds of muscle. Then they fall off and don't go to the gym for 2 weeks, or they fuck off their meals for a couple weeks, So I think the consistency and kind of keeping your mind under control and focused on the positive things, enjoying the training, enjoying the process is going to make it a lot more fruitful for you for sure. So, making sure you're controlling those factors is one, going to make you a lot better bodybuilder, and two, that you actually enjoy becoming a better bodybuilder, right?